WSXN WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stand by. On my mark.
You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day.
I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live on this beautiful Wednesday in Panama City Beach, Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic. Don't forget, tonight, airtime starts right after the show at 6 o'clock, and then tip-offs at 6:30. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be today. 850-215-6290, the Red 70s phone line. Your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. And as always, on a Wednesday, we've got Tennessee Brandon in the building. Brando, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. On my way in, I got a notification that my guy, Hendon Hooker,
Come on.
got traded to the Tennessee Titans, so he's back in Tennessee. So
Yes.
I thought that was interesting. I mean, he was a third-round pick. He's on the depth chart, I think, with Will Levis, Mitchell Trubisky, Cam Ward. So, I mean, he's totally capable. Don't know if he'll do anything, but I was happy to see him back in Tennessee.
All of those guys have gotten hurt one time or more than once in their life. So there you go. Could be Hendon Hooker's show all over in Tennessee again. So that's a good one.
We can only hope for that.
That's right. You're hoping for that?
Why not?
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
You didn't want Will Levis.
Dude, you can keep the mayonnaise out of my coffee, please and thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
That was weird.
Yeah.
He is.
And I'm
very
French.
And speaking of weird, Jeffrey's in the building. How you doing, Jeff?
Speaking of mayonnaise, French people, we love eggs. We love mayonnaise. Yeah. Mayonnaise and coffee you're a stranger, man.
I get it. Okay.
I mean, look, the pineapple on pizza's down here, and then the mayonnaise in coffee is like way up here. It's not even close.
I get what you're saying about the whole French thing, but bro, you're Cajun. It's not. Is
that redneck French?
I mean,
something like that.
If you want to say you're French, that's fine because your last name ends with an X. That's fine.
Oh,
but you're
goodness.
a Cajun. Like
they have
not
this
the
new.
same.
Let me let you know. There's this new thing. Okay, it's not hip hop. It's called hick hop.
Oh,
yeah. You know where I'm going with that. Google it, and then you'll be surprised.
Please don't.
Speaking of that, I know y'all are way off topic, but how they throw songs in the AI and it'll twist it into any genre. That stuff is so awesome.
Yeah,
so,
it's wild. It really is.
It
wild.
is wild.
And they'll go rap to country or country to rap or yacht rock or whatever.
Modern to like a 20s or 30s genre.
It's the same you listen to right now. Country music is rap. I mean,
well,
realistically.
some of it. Morgan Wallen, especially.
Florida, Georgia line.
If he had a choice, he would want to be a rapper over country music. Morgan Wallen.
Really?
Absolutely, 100%.
I think he comes to Gulf Coast Jam. We ought to get him on the show.
It's that
we should talk
that
to him.
Memphis roots.
Maybe him and Lil Cash could do a little duet. Or
Hey,
something. I think
man,
sounds
Lil
great.
Cash is bigger than that, man. And I'm not laughing at him. I'm all with him.
Yeah, and as far as being big, we got the Bone Crusher in the building. Bone Crusher, how are you doing today?
I've been dodging the tourists in traffic. They're driving like they're still in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true.
You think that's Georgia people? I mean, there are a lot of people on the roads right now.
Yeah, there definitely are. Spring break is full-fledged.
And they'll spend their whole lives commuting around Atlanta, Spaghetti Junction, and 285. Then they'll come down here, check in their hotel. And you know what they do? They get back in their car and drive around some more.
Yeah.
You really love driving, don't you?
If they were allowed on the sand, they would drive on the sand.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely, they like to drive in their car. I think there's a song called Driving in My Car. It really is. I mean, so, but either way, I'm so glad that they're here because it pushes the economy up and it keeps it going, and we love it. And
I love the energy they bring. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, nothing like, you know, girls dancing on top of hoods while they're riding down the road. That's awesome, all right? I mean.
Sounds dangerous.
Sounds definitely.
I love to see it through their eyes. It really reminds me why it's great to be here.
But, you know, I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
That Recommended Collision Center loves when spring break is here.
Yeah, I mean, we love when there's cars on the road. So when school's back in session and people are traveling for spring break and they get out and they're ready to travel all over the country for summer, that is technically
good.
Our busy season. So people driving on the road, you know, a couple of storms here and there. That is what drives our industry. Never wish anything bad on anybody. I tell everybody all the time, we're like a doctor. You're just glad that I'm here. You know, I don't ever say, "I can't wait to see you again." I'd say, don't say that because if they're here at my shop, there must be something stressful going on.
Yeah. So we're going to start calling you that, Doctor. Dr. Brandon's in the house.
Let's go.
That's right. Well, we've got to talk about it. Let's talk about it right out the gate. How proud of the Tennessee Volunteers are you? Because they were the last standing SEC team in the March Madness, in the tournament. And to me, everybody that was an SEC fan, no matter if you like the orange or you don't like the orange, you were rooting for the orange because that was our last hope. And you know what? Obviously, they got smoked at the end.
We'll talk about that a little bit.
They did make it. At least they made it.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I think we had quite a few people doubting us even in the first round. Playing the Miami of Ohio, who'd only lost one game. Everybody was ready to give them the crown already, just being undefeated. We kept our heads down. We won that one. And then we pulled two upsets, two games that we really weren't supposed to win. Nobody, no panelist, very minimal of us. You know, we beat Virginia. That was huge. And then we go on and we beat Iowa State.
Game. But the Virginia game, it seemed like, you know how when you get into the tournament, like it pushed you to the next level. Well, so beating, because everybody knew that you were going to out-athlete Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
If Miami of Ohio could have made their shots, it was kind of like the Alabama deal. If you were going to shoot 50% from three-point land, something like that, or you know, maybe get somebody in foul trouble.
Yeah.
That would have been the way to go. But Tennessee beating Virginia when they wasn't supposed to, and Virginia was a 3 seed, if I'm mistaken, right? They were a 3
seed.
And that was like, everybody was waiting on Virginia to be like pushing Iowa State, and then it was like, wait a minute, they're in this close game, and then all of a sudden Tennessee takes charge, and it's just like, wow, who are these guys?
Yeah, I was very impressed. I mean, we played that way in spurts throughout the season. But realistically, what makes you a good team is being a consistent team. That's why the winner of the national championship wins 6 straight games. You are consistently good throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
You have to be able to win that many games. So I was extremely excited that when we beat Virginia, and it was very optimistic when it come to playing Iowa State. We outsized them. We out-physicaled them. I mean, they were going to have to shoot lights out and things like that. And so I feel like we had a lot more control in that game than even in the prior round. I feel like that matchups are everything.
It is.
And I think that Iowa State matchup was a whole lot better for us than even the Virginia matchup. So I was more confident in our Sweet 16 than I was our round of 32. Then we got to Michigan, and man, it was awful. I mean, they toyed with us. They played with us. I mean, for the first 5 minutes, it was back and forth. Yeah. And at one point, I think we were down 2, and we were 2 for 14 or something. And I was like, okay, we're we're right there, and we're missing all of our shots. Let me read a couple of stats off to you, and it's just mind blowing. Well, Nate Emmett, who first of all started getting hot in that Virginia round with I think 16 points, and then turned around and had another good outing against Iowa State, scored 7 points. I mean, he was 2 for 12, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. That's not going to get it. Gillespie, he scored. He played the most minutes in the game, scored the most points, 21, but 21 points on 8 of 22 from the field goal, 4 from 13 from three-point land. Not going to cut it. We were as a team, and then our third leading scorer, Bishop, he was 1 for 5 from 3 and 1 from 5 from field goal with 3 points. We shot 19% from three-point, 5 for 26. I don't care who you play. We would have lost our first round if we would have shot like that. And then you had it on the flip side. You had Michigan make 52% of their field goals. They couldn't miss, man. They really couldn't. We were in foul trouble. We didn't know what to do. We were like discombobulated in this game, and they did what we did to like Iowa State, but only worse. They scored, they out-physicaled us, they out-rebounded us, they did everything better than we did. And I think that's why you see the number 1 seed next to their name. I mean, they have been consistent all year long. And that Lindenborg guy, that's a top 10 draft pick, and next year coming up. Easy money. That guy can play. He balls hard. He plays hard on the court.
You said on Monday that Texas, Illinois, and Iowa all shocked you.
Yes.
They were your 3 shockers.
Yes.
Why didn't you put Tennessee in there?
Tennessee was definitely top 5.
Yeah.
But it's it's more of me giving them respect, really. Because going into the SEC tournament, there was only one reason why I thought Vanderbilt was better than Tennessee, and it's because I watched a Vanderbilt pick apart a Kentucky team in the middle of the season, and I said, that is a top 10 team right there.
Right.
That Vanderbilt team is that good. And when they met each other in the SEC tournament, Vanderbilt, it was actually probably the last 2 to 3 minutes is the only reason why Vanderbilt won that game against Tennessee. So Vanderbilt and Tennessee were pretty equal in my mind, but Vanderbilt just had that edge, But I saw Virginia go on an 11-game win streak towards the end of the season. Then they got annihilated by Duke. Then they kept on winning. Virginia looked great. So in my bracket, if you look at it, I respected Iowa State totally. But I just had, Virginia, who's a 3 seed, and Iowa State as a 2 seed. I just thought that they were absolutely a top 10 team. And no disrespect to Tennessee.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely 100% they were a top 20 team going into the tournament. But the problem is they had a hard path, extremely hard path. You can tell, I can tell you right now, the biggest 2 wins that the SEC had in the tournament was not Texas beating Gonzaga. It was Tennessee beating Virginia, and it was Tennessee beating Iowa State. There's no other upset that you can try and convince me that the SEC had that was bigger. Tennessee was the biggest accomplishment in the tournament. I'm sorry, Arkansas, you caught Arizona. I'm sorry, Alabama, you caught Michigan.
Yeah.
Because those are the top 2 teams in the whole thing.
No, you're feeling that.
No disrespect to Tennessee. They could have been a Final Four team, but those are the top 2 teams in my book until we get to the championship, and somehow maybe Illinois or UConn can pull it out against those top 2 teams, because those are the top 2 teams. It's the reason why you picked Michigan to win it all. It's the reason why I picked Arizona to win it all. And that was probably one of the hardest picks to do, is the Final Four that we have on Saturday.
And see, I don't agree with you on what was the biggest wins for the SEC. And the reason is because Texas was an afterthought. We had already been talking about Tennessee. We had already thought that they were good. We already knew. We watched the game during the breaks when Tennessee was playing Miami of Ohio. I said they're going to beat them by 30 if they keep going, but they pulled their starters. But then also the way that they had been during the season, where they played Vandy tough, where they had won some games in the SEC, I was like, I'm expecting Tennessee to get there. But I did think that Virginia was going to be a better team, and obviously they wasn't.
No.
But for me, the Texas win over Gonzaga, the Texas run that they made, winning to get in and then going all the way through.
And just one shot away from beating Purdue.
Almost beat, over the back tip in.
Yes, yeah.
That they.
I mean, what a game that was, and I mean, and Texas would have all the flowers in the world if they would have beat Purdue. I mean, I know it's a tip in, could have been a foul, but you know, we've all played sports. You can't blame it on one play. There had to be a couple turnovers, a couple missed shots.
I just did.
So, but nonetheless, like they would have all the flowers for me if they would have won that one. You know, I would never consider, like, you know, you've had the whole debate. I heard you ask people the last 2 weeks about them being a Cinderella. You're the only one on that wagon. You know, and just like, you know, there's no way that, you know, a Tennessee or Missouri or anybody else that's in a major program could ever be a Cinderella.
Yeah, I understand. I just thought that they were the shocker of, you know, because everybody wanted to give it to High Point. Everybody wanted, and that's fine. I'm okay with the first round you giving us shock or, you know, an awe or whatever. But, you know, Texas was playing against a number 11 seed. Now, I know how they do it in the bracket, and to me, I think it's wrong. I think they should give the 16 seeds. All the 16 should be playing in, not the 11s like they did.
Yeah,
but they had to beat an 11 seed. Then they had to beat the 3 seed.
No, 6.
Well, they had to beat the 11 seed to actually get into the round of 64.
It was BYU who you
Gonzaga, who I thought was going to beat them because they had the best player in the tournament.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's probably going to be, if he's not the first pick of the draft, he'll be the second or the third. He's a top 5 for sure. And I thought for sure that nobody would be able to stop him, and they didn't stop him. They just stopped everybody else. But Texas, to me, was the shocker of the complete tournament because their route was so tough. Had they had been on the side of another way, there possibly could be, we could possibly be talking about them right now.
Okay, shocker, yes. Bigger win, and what I mean is that a quality win, I'm sorry, Tennessee's got 2 of them over Texas because it's a 2 and a 3. Iowa State and Virginia are top 10 teams.
Yeah.
To me, Gonzaga is not a top 10 team.
Right. And Gonzaga being ranked like they were, BYU being ranked like they were, you can't forget BYU was ranked number 1 in the country early in the season. And obviously with the best player. So that was why I went with that. And then also having to play, whether you call North Carolina State a good program or not, I know that Will Wade has gone to your team now.
He was checked out at that point.
Yeah.
He was already looking at real estate in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, he already had a house in Baton Rouge, right? I mean, he
well,
talked to
no,
your cousin.
he didn't have it yet. He hadn't closed on it yet.
Yeah.
He actually didn't put a bid on it, but he definitely did inquire.
But he definitely was looking at it. You know what I mean? He was FaceTiming your cousin, and she was walking him through the house, showing him the pool.
You do know I do have a cousin that does realty in Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, just checking. That was kind of weird.
I know everything, Jeffrey. I do my research on my guests. But, yeah, I mean, again, we're not going to fight over who had the bigger wins, but the 2 most impressive teams on the SEC was Texas and Tennessee, the 2 teams that are teas and ugly orange.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I mean, as a 6 seed, what is it? You're the 20th, the 24th best team in the tournament, and for us to do what we did, I knew we had it in us, but were we able to do it at the right time? And I feel like our high got too much as far as, like, you know, winning those 2 games that we shouldn't. I think we went in a little beat up. Like Nate Emmett, he played the 2nd most minutes of anybody on our team, and he was a question mark against that Miami of Ohio coming in, and he's had no rest. So, I mean, him playing like that, and he's supposed to be a lottery pick as well. I hear he's leaving. He averaged 25 during the season. Like I said, he had didn't have an extreme awesome outing in the tournament, but like I said, he was coming off that injury. I think he was just playing for his teammates, but yeah, he's supposed to be leaving us be the top draft pick.
Do you think he was one of them? Because one of our callers called on Tuesday and was talking about Tennessee a little bit, and he said that, you know, Ament supposedly to be a lottery draft pick. He just was not good. And do you think it was due to injury, or do you think that it was
a high ankle sprain? I mean, those are tough to come back for, especially in the game of basketball. So yeah, I think that I don't know how many games he was out leading up, but I think conditioning was a problem too. Is why his minutes increased throughout the tournament. I think he was starting to get his feet underneath him. Like I said, he scored started scoring in that second round, had a really good outing against Iowa State, and then just kind of hit a wall. I think our whole team hit a wall against Michigan. So we just didn't perform. We had, like I said, we had multiple guys. Our bench here, listen to this real quick. We had 3 bench players. I'll go ahead and name them. Ethan Bird, Troy Henderson, and Amari Evans went a combined 0 for 8 on field goals and 0 for 5 on three-pointers. They played a combined of almost 25 minutes. No points, with that many shots put up. So, we struggled across the board. Our starters, our bench, just didn't have it that night.
In basketball, you've got to have quality minutes, meaning scoring from your bench. It's just like baseball. You got to have your bottom of your order hit the baseball, score runs. You can't just be top-heavy in baseball, and you can't just be starter-heavy in basketball. So that's a big point. And when you look at how these players and these teams were affected so much by the injury bug, Duke had injuries. Tennessee had injuries. Alabama.
Iowa State had injuries. The Jefferson guy, that was one of their top leading scorers.
True.
He had twisted his ankle the game before.
Texas Tech's leading scorer was out.
Yeah.
He didn't play at all in the tournament. Alabama, that wasn't an injury. That was a crime.
Yeah.
So, when you look at it, people making mistakes, but also, getting hurt, that's a part of the game. And,
next man up mentality.
Yeah, but just basketball is so hard to find.
It is when there's only 5 on. It's easy. I wouldn't say easy, but when you have 11 guys on the field and you have to plug one in, it's a little easier to cover up than you typically in a basketball court, especially in college. You've got. At your premier schools, you probably got about 3 guys that can create their own shot. A lot of these schools have 1 to 2 guys that can make their own shot and actually score themselves without, relying on, really others. And if that guy goes down, which Nate Amitt was one of ours, try to get back in there. Him and Gillespie were about the only guys that could, you hear all the time, create their own shot.
Yeah.
Nobody could be open, but they will find a way to get open and make a shot, whether that's driving to the basket or whether, just doing your James Harden step back and, hitting a 3. But, yeah, they were able to do that, and it was, wasn't able to do it that well against Michigan.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we're going to have Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards right here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right. He jumped on one and hits a homer.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
At the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 77 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a light breeze out of the east and a temperature of 66. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with sunshine and a wind at 10 miles per hour coming out of the southeast. Partly sunny Friday, a gentle breeze and hot around 77. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
Lanier in transition, hits the three, and a sign of life from Knoxville. Bland driving right. Lob from Brazil and a two-hand slam.
6 on the clock. Now with 5. He drives on Maddox. Right elbow is raised. Spins to the foul line. Jumper up and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Listen live exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic basketball. Don't forget, tonight's tip-off is at 6:30, but coverage starts right after the show. We're pumped up. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be. You can text in at 850-215-6290, or you can call in as well. We'll be so grateful to take your call. But speaking of calls, we've got Aaron Bearden on the line from Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, how are you doing today on this beautiful Wednesday?
Fantastic, Paul. How about you guys?
We are pumped up and ready to go and ready to talk about some cards and some memorabilia. What is going on in the card market? Do you have some interesting stuff going on right now, Aaron?
Yeah, it's always busy time right now for new releases. A lot of fun stuff coming out. Bowman basketball going to be returning to the market here very, very soon. It's been a lot of years since Bowman basketball release. So a lot of fun stuff going on. A lot of new stuff here in the shop as well.
Now, let me ask you this. This being April Fool's, April the 1st, obviously, were there any stuff online that came out that possibly is not true that you might have saw? Because I was thinking that I saw something that was like a gold Otani signed card that was like, it's going to be in Walmart or Target or something like that, and it's like a six-figure card. And I don't think that's true, right?
To be honest with you, I don't know, because I really just follow the stuff, the direct communications with the manufacturers. As an authorized direct partner with all the manufacturers, is the only one in the area. That's who we go with. So a lot of these independent card sites and social media accounts and all that, I don't pay attention to what they put up.
Okay, good. So we're the only suckers around here. You're bowing your chest out knowing that you're going to get the right information. That's why I asked you the questions, because I know you know the right answer. So let me ask you this. As you saw the card market kind of go up and down as it normally does, are we getting excited yet for the release of the football with Topps taking over?
Yes and no. For football fans, if you're a collector, there's been a real drought of product. Topps, for example, hasn't put out a new football product since last November, and that was just a collegiate issue. So, you're wanting to see product out there. A lot of what Panini's been putting out has been geared more toward breakers than shops. So, football card collectors like to be able to walk into a local card shop and see some affordable cards with some players and teams that they like to collect. So, sure, on one side that's great. On the other, there's been a lot of less than enthusiastic feedback about some of Fanatic's recent baseball releases. So there's been some quality control issues, and certain things that were supposed to be in the products didn't make their way into the product on first release, and that sort of thing. So I know there are a lot of people kind of looking at it going, it sounds great, but I'll wait till I actually see it before I cheer for it.
Now, we've talked about it. We didn't ask last week, but I'm going to ask, has the 52 mantle been pulled? Have you heard? I haven't seen anything on it. I just want to make sure that it hasn't, just to make sure.
I have no idea. That's the kind of thing. When they put one chase card like that, I don't pay attention to it, really. I don't see where it affects me.
Right.
So, even as a collector, if you're getting that product, there's so many other things in there. Always liken this to the lottery thing of the people who are like, oh well, the lottery's up to like 498 million. When it gets to 500 million, I'll play.
Yeah.
And
So
it's like, really, like you know. So they're going, that one card's been pulled. I don't want to buy that product anymore. It's like, okay, so there's still Clemente rookie, a 52 Mays, a Koufax rookie, all these other 53 Mantle, all this other stuff in there. Like, that one card shouldn't be the only reason people want to buy that product.
Yeah,
if
so
it is, that's a bad product.
As of April 1st, Aaron and Paul, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. Now, you're not going to pull the Mickey Mantle card out of it.
Right.
It's going to be a redemption card.
Right.
Then you're going to have to wait months to probably get your redemption card or to get your actual one. But it has not been reported as pulled as of today. So, yeah, when you find it, it's going to be a little white card. It's going to have a sticker on it. It's going to have a barcode, a bunch of serial numbers, and it's like, hey, congratulations, you have gotten your redemption card for 52 Mickey Mantle. So.
Wow. And so with that being said, do you think it's already out there, Aaron? Like, I know we don't want to go around in circles about just this one card, but do you think maybe it's out there right now, or do you think Topps hasn't put it out there on purpose so that people that are trying to just look for that card and, are just trying to do whatever, that they'll stay in the game of buying?
Well, man, I'd like to think it's out there already. There's always a chance it's already been pulled and you just haven't heard about it. The big Paul Skeens card, the MLB debut patch card, allegedly was pulled over a month before Topps ever let anyone know about it. So who's to say? I can see there are pluses for both sides. Topps could want that card have been found the first day, just to generate a lot of news and interest about Topps baseball cards. They could also want it, to be a couple of months down the road where they sell all the product they can sell before that card gets pulled.
Well,
and then it kind of gives it a shot in the arm and a second breath of life to that product.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty common sense that they didn't put it in there raw, one, because it is $1 million card, way more probably, that you don't want to get it damaged, and two, it's redemption. So as soon as you put your redemption code in, Topps is going to know that card, that redemption has been found, and they'll probably post something. They'll probably say something commemorative. But yeah, with it being a redemption card, unless somebody has just pulled it and framed the redemption, I don't think they. Aaron, how long do redemptions usually last? They're not a forever, but it's like a 10-year time frame to redeem or something of that sort.
They claim that they started doing that about a year ago, claiming they had 10 years worth of burnout time on redemptions. We've yet to see if that's true because they've only been a year old. As far as why it's not in the pack, the other reason is, practical reason, it's bigger. It's too big to go in the pack.
Yeah.
It literally, cards from 52 were larger than modern cards.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
From 52 to 56 is too big to go into the pack. 1957 is the first year they settled on the modern standard size
Learned something new today.
Of baseball cards. Yeah, so you come in the shop. Next time you're in here, we'll get out some of the vintage stuff. You can take a look. They're just too large to go in the pack.
That. I would love to see some of that vintage, like the size difference in that, because I'd never really thought about that card. They may be cut a little different back then, packaged a little different than they are now.
We're talking with Aaron Bearden
they're a bit bigger.
with Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, when you talk about the baseball season kicking off, have you seen any of the newer prospects, your Roman Anthonys, all of those guys? They're all on an upward trajectory. Have you seen any more of the names that are known in the baseball market that, maybe that everybody didn't know about, maybe that they could come and look and try to get those cards?
Yeah, I think one that springs to mind from the first week or so would be J.J. Weatherholt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a guy that, probably a lot of people outside of like prospecting or minor league baseball watchers did not know about. And, I think they definitely know about him now.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and then you've got all of the, a lot of these kids that are coming into it, they're searching for the stars. What is Bryce Harper doing? It just seems like to me, they talked about him with his playing for the USA, that it's probably the last time, and it's probably the latter. He's going into his latter part of his, career, him and Mike Trout and some of these other guys. Do you think those cards are going to level out, like their autograph cards, their rookie cards, the cards that are, the most expensive for those guys? Do you think those cards are going to level out, or do you think they might decline a little bit as they get older and their numbers don't turn out to be as good?
Well, I think the people buying for that, if you're putting your money into, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, etc., you already realize these guys aren't 24 years old anymore. What they're putting together now are longevity numbers. They're going to hit milestones. With those kind of players, you're waiting on the 400th homer, the 500th homer, the 2,500th hit, 3,000th hit, whatever. So I don't think anybody's expecting either of those guys to, win a Triple Crown or something like that. So I do think it's a little different market. I don't think it's going to drop because, say in a couple of years when they're 36, 37, that they're not putting up those age 25 numbers anymore. It is more about the long-term wait. People are going to buy them and go, okay, when this guy retires, there's going to be that sort of farewell tour like we've started seeing in the last 10 or 15 years with great players. I don't personally hold with the idea, and some people do this to invest. They're like, well, I'm going to buy him and hang on to him because when he goes in the Hall of Fame, that's going to be a bump. Well, it's never that huge of a bump with those kind of players because we know they're going in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
It's not shocking anyone. So, and then it's a 5-year wait on top of that.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a bump for the cards. They don't double or triple because a guy goes in the Hall of Fame. It's just a, slight, steady increase over time as the cards get harder to find. So, me personally, I wouldn't invest with that particular thing in mind. But, as they start hitting some of those milestone numbers, we saw it with Albert Pujols, we saw it with Miguel Cabrera. There is a little bit of an upside to that. And you can also maybe pick some of those guys up because some of the overnight flipper guys, the real short-term investors, they don't want to wait on stuff. So they'll get rid of some of those guys' cards as they look at it and go, oh, Mike Trout's probably not going to win AL MVP again. So I'm going to dump his stuff, and I'm going to put everything into, Bobby Witt or whatever. Sometimes, these guys are at a point where it's a pretty decent pickup for you if you're willing to wait long term.
Yeah, that's the biggest part about collecting is that you don't know what's going to happen, and you can kind of, like you said, you can kind of predict the future with the longevity of their careers, but early on, you don't really know. Roman Anthony, he could look great this year, but fall off. And then you got these other new guys coming on and making a big difference. What's going on at the shop this week that you have?
We got our kids club on Friday night, which is always a fun time for the kids. All of the kids that do sports cards, and bring them out at 6 o'clock on Friday night. They will have a great time, get to do some very fun box breaks with other kids, get to trade, get to meet other kids that like to collect. Saturdays, we have in-store breaks happening at noon. We've been taking to posting on Friday evenings on our social media what we're going to start out breaking on Saturday. So definitely check that out. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Then we've got some Pokemon, some organized play on Saturday for those Pokemon fans out there, starting at 4 p.m. for Pokemon.
So when you say that, when you're talking about giving the update on what you're going to be breaking on Saturday, give us an example. So how does that work for the kids? So they come in on a Saturday and they pay a price and they're a part of the breaks, or how does that work?
Yeah. Well, two separate things. Friday night will be the kids club, and we'll do breaks just for the kids, usually more affordable product. And the kids always leave with way more than whatever they bought in for. We have stuff saved up all week for the kids, and usually we throw in some extra packs and some fun stuff for them, and also to reward mom and dad for bringing them out on a Friday night. So Saturdays we do the breaks, hobby boxes. It's not limited to adults, but it's a little more expensive, so it's not as many of the kids. But we'll start posting the boxes so people can see what's up there that we're going to break. And then, we break that stuff. If people got other things they want to open up, we'll break whatever's on the shelf that people want to do. So, we'll start posting, letting them know, hey, we're going to do a, random division break on this product, or we're going to do a hit draft or something like that on this product, so that it's a box with just 5 cards, 5 autos. Everybody's going to get an autograph. We'll do 5 spots and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 randomly, and then you're number 1, you get the first auto out of that. 2 gets second auto, etc.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's really cool.
Yeah, we'll do that stuff. Everybody walks away with an autograph and those kind of breaks.
I'll tell you what, if you want to spend about $25, you could have Jeffrey come set up a table, and he'll sign all the autographs you want all night.
It's tempting. There's been some interest.
Say when. Say when. I'm his manager, so we'll have a talk
being
after.
Polite. Yeah.
We'll have a talk after the show. Give us the address and your hours of operation, Aaron.
Certainly. 752 West 23rd Street. That's in the Stanford Station, right there with Academy Sports, Sweet Frog, El Jalisco, all right there in that plaza. There we are. We're open 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 11 to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, Sunday 12 to 6. You can find out all that information and more at Instant Replay, sportscards.com.
The one thing I want to say, because we did heavy cards this time, but I want to say, when I was able to come over to your shop and look at all of the memorabilia you have, if you're in the market for memorabilia, if you liked helmets, if you like signed jerseys, if you like signed articles, things that, that are more of the memorabilia, not as so much the cards, Aaron's got all kinds of stuff like that. And whether you want vintage stuff, I mean, when you look at it, he's got Nick Saban, he's got Joe Montana, but he's also got the newer people. And he's got people that if you're like, maybe they're not the Tom Brady of the team, but they're the best wide receiver on the team. Or there's such a big plethora of stuff like that. And the funniest thing, Aaron, and maybe you can tell it quicker than I can, but you also got like signed stuff from like television shows and movies.
Yeah, a lot of entertainment memorabilia. In fact, I just went to a big show in Jacksonville this weekend. We got a bunch more stuff signed. So yeah, we got things in here from Marvel movies and Star Wars, all kind of films, television shows, all that sort of stuff. And everything from signed 8x10s to Funko Pops, big figures, props, signed lightsabers, all kind of cool stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a great time. You can go over there and see them. They're in the Stanford Station. They're right there over by Academy and Sweet Frog. And you can have a full hour and a half, 2 hours just walking around looking at the stuff. So, Aaron, we appreciate you coming on, and hopefully you'll have a big weekend with all these spring breakers.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you guys. Everybody out there, be good, stay safe, come and see us.
Yes, sir. Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards. We appreciate you so much. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about March Madness and even some football, and some baseball. Just stick around. You'll know what we're talking about. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T Studio Line. They've got the heat, and we've got the call.
And he is toast. Swung on and missed.
With Chris Sale leading the charge and Spencer Strider bringing the fire back to the mound.
It is a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Chris Sale.
The rotation is locked and loaded for 2026.
Struck him out. Went down and away with a nasty splitter.
Hear every masterpiece and every high heat save on your home for the Atlanta Braves. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ready to dance? Right now on Hard Rock Bet, new customers get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. And we'll keep you dancing all tourney with 2 profit boosts for every day of hoops. That's right. All customers can get a parlay profit boost and a live bet profit boost from now till they cut down the nets. Double winnings, daily dancing boosts, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and created cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Lanier in transition, hits the three, and a sign of life from Knoxville. Bland driving right, lob from Brazil, and a two-hand slam.
6 on the clock. Now with 5, he drives on Maddox. Right elbow with Ray, spins to the foul line, jumper up, and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Listen live exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Climb into our TM and jump into the chat. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is live on Facebook. Interact with Paul and other sports fanatics. Now, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock. Tip-off's at 6:30 right after the show. And don't forget, you can go to our ESPN Northwest Florida app for a chance to win a $25 Ferrucci Ristorante gift card in Panama City. Just press the contest button to win an amazing Italian cuisine from Ferrucci's Ristorante right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. The Red 7T's line. Red 7T's, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. And as we talk about it, we're going to actually do it. We're going to go right to the phone line. We've got Big Nate on the line from Southport. How you doing today, Nate?
Hey, what's up, guys? Ready to get my blitz on.
All right. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Go. What's going on with you today, buddy?
Well, you know, I've had a lot to think about because it's April Fool's Day, and I'm dealing with a lot of kids, and they're all acting a little foolish.
Yes.
And it got me thinking that I was sitting over here at Dean's Bozeman watching the Mount Trashmore dump site get filled in with a bunch of new level of sand and stuff, which is not bad. At least they're covering it up. But I wanted to know something. If you were to make a Mount Rushmore of athletes from or in the state of Florida currently, who would have to be on that Mount Rushmore?
So you're saying they don't have to play for the Gators, but they could just be a Florida player, whether they're on the Jaguars.
Or they were born here, or they grew up here, or whatever.
Ooh, that would be really
they have ties
hard.
to Florida.
Yeah, the ties to Florida thing, I think it's going to be really hard because you don't know who's born. Like, Jeffrey's not born in Florida, so no, you're not on the list. Sorry.
But it's okay because Dan Marino is Dolphins history, man.
That is true.
Come on. Dan Marino is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of Florida athletes. Even though he didn't play college ball here or he's from Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know. But no, Dan Marino is in the top 5. Easy.
Okay.
Would you guys put Shaq on that list?
Ooh, because the Orlando Magic and the Heat, he won a title at the Heat.
Right.
One title.
Right.
Yeah.
One title.
I guess so.
I guess you could be on 2 Mount Rushmores in this case. So, I mean, he would be in California.
Yeah, does your success have to be in Florida or just from Florida?
No. If you have ties, like your family raised you in Florida.
I mean, like Emmitt Smith and Deion Sanders at that point. They're
Don't
both
say
from
Tom
Florida.
Brady.
They're both from Florida.
No.
No,
I'm just going to tell you this.
So he played for the Bucs and won a Super Bowl. You got to mention Tom Brady. That's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say this. If you mention Florida and athlete, the number one person you're always going to think about is Tim Tebow. Mm-hmm. He is number one. He's the face of Florida. And then you can't, like Jeffrey was talking about, you can't leave out the coach. And you got to go with the old ball coach, and you got to put Steve Spurrier there and Don Shula for sure.
Yeah.
But Steve Spurrier's there. He won a Heisman Trophy, and he won national championships and SEC championships at the University of Florida.
Zonka, and then you got Mike Alstott too. I mean, I mean, Mike's a little bit of a stretch, but I think Zonka could probably make an honorable mention on that.
I don't know.
He's not top 10. And I'm sorry.
No,
and I am a Dolphins fan.
Yeah. Well, let's change it up a bit. We can think about that and come back to it later on in the week. Let's do this. They were talking on the Rich Eisen show, which is an ESPN affiliated show. Now not part of the NFL Network. They're all owned by Disney. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're welcome.
They were talking about expanding to the European League. It was talks at the owners' meetings about possibly having a European team, like in London or something like that. And my take on it was like, well, you know what? Football is big enough for every country to be involved in. I think that by establishing right now a European league of its own that's kind of governed with the NFL and let them grow and see what happens there as kind of like a pony league to us, we would still go over and do our games that we do now. But I really think that having a European league and then we maybe play the champion like in a, wherever. But I think there's definitely room for that, especially with Germany, France, Spain, all of those soccer states. We need to take over the soccer stadiums.
Yes, so I see that as more like a D league for football, kind of like the guys who haven't quite gotten it there or got to clean up some stuff. Like I see that being like a good D league. I don't necessarily see that being, especially up front. We don't want to see the top American team face somebody else who has a bunch of has-nots or anything of that nature. I mean, maybe in the future, Big Nate, like eventually. You're talking, and eventually is about like 10, 20 years. You would have this league
for like a decade.
Yeah.
And then if it proves itself, then you start shipping over better talent, and maybe include them in some of the later rounds of the draft and stuff like that.
Well, we know football's huge overseas. I mean, these games that we play overseas, they are absolutely packing out these soccer stadiums. And soccer crowds, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of soccer. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way. But the people at these games are more passionate about their team, their sport, their city than we are about football. They are super passionate people, and they carry that passion, their chants, their everything to these football games. And I think Europe with football would do phenomenal, just about how crazy these people are about sports.
Well, I mean, you look at rugby; it's successful. They've got obviously the Premier League in London. How many professional soccer teams are in England?
Ooh,
there's got to be like over 40.
Yeah.
Because all the different leagues they've got. They got the Premier League, and then they got the Champion League, and they got this league and that league. And they've all got like 12 to 16 teams in them.
So
now, that's not saying that they all have premier talent, obviously, or they would be higher up.
So, Nate, I'm the king of unpopular opinion. Are you ready for mine?
You know what? I relish it, sir.
The New York Jets to London. You can't take the Jaguars away from Jacksonville. Just move the Jets over there because nobody really wants them anyway.
Wow. Do you want the Jets to go to London?
Yes. But you got to change the mascot.
London Calling, it's a great song. I can see it.
But that's it. We don't need a Paris. We don't need a Rome or Berlin. Just London.
You got to get that supersonic jet logo going on. Yeah.
Well, since you guys all have taken the microphone, I'm going to step in and give you my take. And I will tell you this, you leave my NFL football alone. You've got your soccer, you've got your rugby, you've got your cricket or whatever you want to call it, cricket. You leave my NFL in America. We are proud of the U.S. of A. in this country for our NFL football. We've been trying to keep throwing these games all over there, and we're shipping them over here and we're shipping them over there, and the fans, they showing up with all kinds of jerseys that don't even make sense. They're just there for the fun of it. And then you're taking my college football game and you're giving them college games. You better keep your hands off my teams because you can't have the NFL or college football in another country. This is America. And football is ours. You can play it, but you can't have ours. So keep your hands off of my game.
Oh, what, Florida Gators versus Alabama in London.
No. You speak an abomination, my friend.
Could you imagine?
I'm telling you, that's got to happen. You got to give these kids some culture because right now it doesn't look very good.
I don't care about the culture. Give me America football, and that's what we're going to do. That's right.
Tailgate and barbecue and beer.
Yeah.
That's what we got going on, baby.
That's right, Nate.
Are you against the Ireland game for basketball?
I am.
Wow.
I'm against it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I don't love it. I don't love it because let them come over here. Let them come over here and enjoy it the right way.
Now,
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be culturally incorrect because if you like going overseas and doing all that, that's fine. But I am saying I want our games here. Because it's even like what Coach Shanahan was talking about yesterday. He was saying that we've got to travel all the way over here, and we're going to be time travelers because we're going to go up in time and play, and then when we fly back, we're going to get that time back. So, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for me. And then they pick and choose what NFL teams can go. So, realistically, keep them in America. If you want to come from Britain or London or wherever, come over and experience, like what Nate said, the hot dogs and the barbecue and the diving through tables in Buffalo. Come on over and experience all of what we have to offer. And, yeah, if you want to have a minor league team over there, go ahead, knock yourself out. But keep your hands off the NFL.
Well, I'm telling you, one last thing, guys, and I'll let you go because I know you're up against the break. My friend Tom Haney, I love this guy. We saw a game together in the Kingdom together. It was a playoff game. He is a die-hard Vikings fan. I mean, bleeds purple and gold, okay? And I'm telling you right now, he lives in Ireland, has for a long time. He can't come back to the U.S. because he can't afford the medical to live here. So he stays in Ireland, watches from afar, and if they can get the Vikings in Ireland, that would be awesome for him because he would be able to see his team from America. And go Tom Haney, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, well, that's a great story. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. Man, I take up too much of your time, but thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, Nate. Hey, we appreciate you, my friend. Have a good day.
So they gave the, I don't even call it, it's not naming rights. I don't know what kind of rights it is, but Italy now has, there's two teams that have the rights to Italy as far as marketing. That's it, marketing goes. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns, who have no connection to Italy except for there's a bunch of Italians living in New Orleans.
Wow. Well, again, if you want to ship the Jets, we can ship the New Orleans Saints over there, too.
No! It's all we got because the Pelicans are horrible.
Yeah,
and the Jaguars, that's all Jacksonville has.
Could you imagine the staff of Cajuns going over to Italy and being
a delegation?
Oh,
and
my
there's
gosh.
bribery going on. Like, how much you want for our team? No, we got more money.
And
then
then
we got to pay the politicians, too.
And then the next thing you know is all of a sudden, they've got Ed Ogeron being the head football coach in the Italy Saints.
You understand me? Because I don't speak English.
So that would be fantastic for that. But, yeah, I'm not trying to be anything, but I don't want them to go over there. I don't love the games over there. They're too early in the morning.
Yeah, it's bittersweet because, especially during fantasy season, I think I've got X amount of time to get my roster set, and I wake up and there's a game going on at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm like, crap.
First world problems.
Trying to find my phone, trying to change my lineup.
Well, it's going to get weirder next year.
Yeah, they're going to have
do you know what's happening?
Games.
What?
The season opener is not on Thursday night.
On
you know
Wednesday.
why?
Yeah, because there's a Thursday international game or something?
Yes.
And
it's the Rams and 49ers in Australia.
On a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
On Thursday their time?
Wednesday our
time?
Yeah, some weird
That's so
Back
crazy.
to the Future type
I'm
stuff.
good at math, but I don't want anybody else to do that kind of math. That's craziness.
Well, that's the whole thing about going and then coming back. You're actually going to live a life, and then you're
cross
coming
that
back.
international date line in the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't change just 1 hour. It changed 12 hours.
Yeah, it's 12-hour difference.
Wild.
Yeah,
China is 12.
Yeah, well, we're going to just leave it at that because we're not going. We're not going. I'm sorry about Mr. Haney, but we're not going. Leave the Vikings here.
Mr. Haney.
You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. The chaos lives here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents March Madness.
Living up to its name, the Madness. 3, top of the key, got it!
Catch every upset, every buzzer beater, and every heart-stopping moment of the NCAA tournament.
Right corner, he's going to take the 3, and he hit it again!
Your home for the Big Dance is right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
That right there is the explanation point.
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Clear and slightly foggy tonight with a low near 66 and a wind 3 to 7 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a gentle breeze out of the east-southeast, and a temperature of 75. About the same in the afternoon and evening, around 77 with sunshine and a wind around 13 miles per hour out of the south. Partly sunny Friday, a gentle breeze and hot around 77. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief, from medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The locals love it.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
Off target, right hand follow. Combo. Perfectly timed right block.
Listen to the madness.
And the Tide are up 17.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Broadcasting from the heart of the Gulf Coast and streaming to every corner of the map. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, the hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live and local right here at 5 o'clock on your FM dial, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic. At 6 o'clock tonight, right after the show, coverage starts. Tip-offs at 6:30. Hopefully the Magic can get into the win column. Last night, the Braves failed to the Oakland Athletics, giving the Athletics their first win of the season, and that's not something you want to be a part of.
Nope.
But either way, we are so happy to have you joined us today. Maybe you're getting off work, and guess what? It's hump day, baby, so you all have but 2 more days, and some of y'all only have 1 more day because Good Friday is a holiday.
Hey.
So the schools will be out on Friday, so the traffic will not be as heavy, or it could be heavier.
Yeah, I hate the heavy traffic. Hey, good news. The Braves did beat the A's today, so dropped one last night. What do you mean swept? We lost last night.
But, I mean, they won the series.
Yeah, so we won the series. Yeah, I think we played them, 3 times? So
yeah, we won 2 out of 3. So that's better. If we go 2 out of 3 with everybody, that'll be great.
That'll be solid.
I want to add somebody. We talked about the Mount Rushmore of Florida athletes, and one of our Red 70s phone line listeners wrote in, Roy Jones Jr. has to be on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so I was thinking one when we were talking about Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who are you putting as a Seminole
Eaton
in there? Are you
W's,
putting any
you're
Seminole in there? Because you're going to hurt some people's
Bobby
feelings.
Bowden's got to be
Bobby
in there.
Bowden. There you
You
go.
know,
You
Mount-
got to
That's
have
the
Bobby
man.
Bowden.
Yeah. Mount Rushmore only has like 4 or 5 slots, so like we've named like 8,
12.
9 people.
It's
so-
a big mountain.
And apparently, some of these people do not make the cut. Well, how much y'all like them?
It's made out of sand because it's in Florida, and we can make it as big as we want because we got a plethora of sand, the beautiful white sand right here in
By the way,
Northwest Florida.
it's 4. So just to clarify.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's get it.
Tebow.
Let's get it. Tim Tebow. Can we?
You wanted to put 2 people from the
Hold
Florida
on.
Gators.
Let's
on that list.
let's do a consensus. All right, let's do a consensus. The only way that these 4 people can be on there is if all 3 of us say yes. Bone Crusher, you want to be a part of it, or
I'll officiate.
Okay.
I think we should honestly, like, we can talk about it, but we should like create a poll and let everybody vote on the top 4.
Top 4.
Yes, let's
Yeah.
give a list of like the
10 people.
We'll come up with a list of the 10 most popular, 10 most deserving, like we already have. It sounds like, and maybe let the people pick of what they think would be the most popular. And do
Yeah,
a
that's a
vote
good deal.
system.
We'll do a Facebook poll tomorrow, and it'll be the 4 Mount Rushmore of Florida athletes. And the way you determine that is, did they play for a Florida team? Were they born in Florida? Or did they coach in Florida?
Yeah, I think that's about your only parameters. Yeah,
Right? And we're talking just football? Or could we be talking baseball? Could we be talking
think
basketball?
Yes.
all
Oh, my gosh.
Tiger Woods is out. You
How?
know, he's a wreck.
How's he? Oh.
No pun intended.
I mean, come on.
No Tiger Woods, sorry.
But he's the greatest golfer ever, probably.
I mean, and there's other people like Andre Agassi. Nah, get him out of there. He's not even top 10. Forget it.
Leave
No,
it up to
other
Jeff
sports
to-
can be involved.
Leave it up to Jeff to do a
Yeah, I didn't even know who that was.
sweaty
You don't know who Andre Agassi
tennis
is?
player.
Oh my God! I forget how young he is.
Yeah, well, we don't ever forget how old you are. But when you look at it,
Yeah.
you got Tebow. I mean, you got boxers. You got baseball players. I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot, and then you got, you're gonna have it, which obviously
Three coaches possibly. We got Spurrier, Bowden, and Shula.
and obviously, already on the Red 17's phone line, someone has already texted in and said we are forgetting about all of the Hurricanes.
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy Johnson, Ray Lewis, Sean Taylor, all the running backs that they had. Gino Torretta.
Cadillac Williams.
And of course, you said Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it.
I
said
said
it.
Emmitt Smith.
He said Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith didn't do anything for Florida. Emmitt Smith did something for himself. That was get drafted by the Cowboys, and then he won championships
only
there.
become the
And he's from Pensacola.
Yeah, he's from Pensacola, went to Escambia County High School.
Escambia?
And it's the field's named after him, which is cool. But, I mean, I don't know. What would be the parameters? What would be the answer to making all of this make sense?
Deion Sanders is from Fort Myers.
I mean,
Fred Taylor.
Gosh. And I mean,
Alex Rodriguez is from Dunsutton. That's Miami.
Wow.
You know what I thought he was going to say?
What?
The tight end for the Patriots who
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
I thought he was saying
Hey.
that in a second there.
I mean,
Percy Harvin.
is Aaron?
Yeah, Percy Harvin.
I don't know. I just, for me, I'm just like, gosh, there's so many, and there has to be.
There really are.
There has to be. I mean,
And
gosh.
Tua.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, joking.
Yeah,
Of course.
I don't know. I just, yeah,
And
I don't know.
What about a guy like Messi, who plays for
Miami
soccer team?
I think they're
one of the most renowned soccer players of all time.
What are they called? Inter or something like that? Inter Miami? I don't know what they're called. It's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like their mascot
Inter Miami.
naming things that they have.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
I mean,
but all of the national championships that Florida won, Danny Werfel,
Yeah.
Steve Spurrier, that group, and then you got Tim Tebow and his group, and then you got all of the Bobby Bowden teams, Peter Warwick, Warwick Dunn, Jameis Winston. Now you're talking about Miami. When
John Gruden.
You're talking about Tampa Bay.
Yep.
You're talking about, I mean, gosh, there's so many. And then you're talking about baseball, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Then you start talking about
baseball.
all of the players that come out of Miami or that come out of Jacksonville or come out of Gainesville. I mean, all these places where all these players come from. Then you got boxers, and then you got, I mean, I'm sure there's Olympic athletes. I mean, we're talking.
Yeah, Justin Gatlin, I'm pretty sure is one. He's an Olympic sprinter, so he's got several Olympic medals.
And then the Womack girl, what's her name? Allie Womack. Abby Womack. Yeah, I learned.
Yeah, she has
soccer.
I think two world titles or 2 Olympic medals and a national championship in '98 with the Florida Gators women's soccer.
Yeah, she won. I think she won back-to-back for the Gators when North Carolina was just completely dominating at that time. And of course, Lane Kiffin.
He's from Florida?
No, he coached in Florida Atlantic.
Oh my goodness!
His wife's family's from Gainesville, I believe. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Florida Atlantic.
So what we'll do is we'll put a poll up, and again, we'll put the names out there, and we'll have a spot where if you want to add a name, you can add a name. That'll be fine as well. But man, it would just seem like a lot of names. And even when you look at it, you could look at college basketball. Look at Joakim Noah and
Al
Horford, all of those, Corey Brewer, all of those guys. I mean, winning championships for the Gator basketball program. I mean, Todd Golden, is he on there yet? You know, I don't know. Billy Donovan, is he on there yet? So I mean, there's a bunch. And somebody just sent a lot, and I'm not going to be able to read all of this, but it's a bunch on the Red 17s phone line. So Ricky Henderson was born in.
I did not know that.
Dwayne Wade.
Oh, Dwayne Wade.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Tiger.
LeBron James.
You're not saying Tiger Woods, are you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on.
He is one of the most decorated golfers of all time. Yes, his shortcomings and his alleged, addictions and his terrible car driving. He got on a golf course. Somebody sent me. It's so bad. It was you actually.
Yeah, it was me.
It was you.
Of course, it's so bad.
I'm on the golf course, and you send this to me, and I have to show my dad and my buddy Jake. I was like, "Look at this," and we all busted out laughing. The only time I can outdrive Tiger, and it was his car turned over.
Yeah, that's not very good.
Kind of funny.
Oh my
actually.
gosh! And don't forget the famous tennis player on the women's side. I'm very
Jennifer Capriati.
No, Chris Evert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Chris. She's from Fort Lauderdale.
There you go.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Either way, all of those people, we'll do it tomorrow. That's a great idea. We'll see who wins, and I'm going to bet, and I don't bet, but I'm going to put it out there that Tim Tebow is going to be on there. So he's going to
make it. He's the same.
He'll make it.
Can you do someone like Burt Reynolds? Since you did The Rock, who played a little bit of football.
That is true.
That's
oh
not
my
wrong.
gosh.
Yeah.
So
where do you differentiate at that point?
I mean, that would be. Because Burt Reynolds was.
He was an icon, but the theater schools is named after him at Florida State, not any football field.
Yeah. Well, and the Red 17s phone line, someone said Mount Rushmore is the very best of the best. Mm-hmm. If you can't argue them as the GOAT in their own sport, they don't belong. So that's a good way of putting it.
Well, is Shula the third or fourth best coach of all time in the NFL history?
Just
because he's not the GOAT, but he's third or fourth.
But he's the only coach to ever have an undefeated team.
Yes.
Is Steve Spurrier the greatest coach of all time in college football?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not. Is he fourth or fifth or sixth, maybe?
But is he the best college football coach to ever coach in Florida?
Jimmy Johnson's in the discussion, and Bobby
Bowden and Steve Spurrier. It's so hard to
you can't be the GOAT on the college football
But
coaching.
Is Tim Tebow the greatest college football player to ever play in the state of Florida?
College football player, yes.
In the state of Florida? I think
Florida.
that's pretty easy to say.
Yeah. Because the Gators
between the Heismans and the national championships and just the stats and the willing the team to victories, I think.
Bernie Kosar and Jim Kelly. No, sorry.
And then you got like Gino Torretta Jameis Winston. You know, all those guys had
Charlie Ward
stuff. Charlie Ward can't leave him out. And, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. But you know what? We got great listeners, and they can actually pick them. And I'm sure there's going to be people that we didn't even realize that were on the list. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. But speaking of interesting, obviously tomorrow we are going to have Coach Lane Blue from Gulf Coast State come in and talk about what they accomplished over there at Gulf Coast, going to the Final Four. And then he's going to also break down the NCAA brackets with us. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow. So
that'll be fun.
Curious to see what he thinks. And then also he's going to talk about the coaching aspect of North Carolina. And you know, I'm going to ask him, have they called you?
Hey.
That's right, baby.
Coach Blue to North Carolina.
Coach Blue.
Tar Heel Blue.
And it goes with his name. Lane Tar Heel Blue.
Yes.
There we go.
Perfect.
I mean, that's perfect. We're gonna nominate him right there. We'll call the powers that be.
So that's interesting to get an assistant coaching position at a big school like that. I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That's how you get your foot in the door.
Yeah. Which is what is going on with one of the Tennessee coaches. He's going to North Carolina State.
NC State. I believe he used to play there. Used to be, you know, he's like a guy that, you know, if you're a fan of NC State, which my soon-to-be brother-in-law is a huge NC State fan.
Wow, I didn't know those existed.
Yeah.
They do.
So, and so he was like, yeah, man, we're going to probably be getting one of y'all's assistant coaches. He's a huge name on campus. We all love him. Can't wait to have him. And I said, you know what? Take him. I said, take him back. I said, you know,
we got Rick Barnes.
Rick Barnes will mold another one. I said, you have him. I said, if that makes you happy, I said, you can go ahead and take him.
I wonder if Rick Barnes is kin to Steve Barnes. I don't know what to ask. I never thought about that.
No, he didn't go to Troy.
He doesn't live in. Yeah, he's not Sunbelt. But when you think about these coaches, is that the new direction, or the Blue Bloods, they just operate on their own deal? They're excited about getting an alumni. North Carolina tried it by having Hubert Davis come on as an alumni to be the head basketball coach. It didn't work out. The whole coaching staff was alumni. All of those guys. Sean May was there. Like I said, Hubert Davis was the head coach. Is that something that either works or doesn't, or does just the Blue Bloods, it only works for the smaller level teams? Because I wouldn't hold North Carolina State as a top-tier Blue Blood at all.
No.
But I do think that they are a team that can make the tournament, maybe win some games, upset some people, be pretty fantastic for what they accomplish.
They had a pretty decent run last year or the year before that. They had like a 6'10" center, big boy that was pretty dominant, that got some notoriety. I think smaller schools, and I'm not saying smaller like lesser, inferior, you know, more populated, but not your blue blood schools.
Non-blue
I
blood.
think have a little more leeway to do and have those kinds of hires.
Yeah.
These blue bloods with the fans, and like when you were talking to Coach John Summerall about expectations.
Yeah.
These schools have extremely high expectations, and you asked John what his were, and he was like, "Man, mine are the same as the fans. I want to win." He said, "Ask my wife. I'm the most impatient person," and a lot of these coaches are. If you're getting hired at a big school, you've got previous success. They're not hiring coaches with losing records and things of that nature. So, I mean, you go somewhere like NC State, it's pretty, you know, well known that, you know, the standard is the standard there. They're not expecting national championships or ACC titles, maybe some tournament bids, maybe a couple runs, but you go to the Tar Heels, go to North Carolina, man, you're expected to bring that thing back up to the top of the pedestal almost immediately. So, I mean, I don't think they have as much leeway. What is it? Roy Williams was the coach before Hubert Davis. Is it Davis?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I think Roy Williams' pick for head coach. And so, like, that's why Hubert got the job. Yes, he is from there, and I think he was Roy's assistant at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that was his foot in the door. He got in there to be an assistant.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of those prestigious, notable schools, they like to promote within. It's just almost tradition.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I heard they're reaching out this time, so hopefully they find him a good hire.
And John Shire is a same thing. He played for Coach K, and he's assistant for Coach K, and now he's the head coach. So now we've got the two largest blue bloods in college basketball that are at the same deal with their coaching hire. One has already released theirs. Will Duke be number 2? That's the question. You don't like former players. You don't like players coming back to coaching. You've made that very clear a lot of times. And so do you think that that is a no-no, and that some people are saying, you know what, we're not going with the former players. We've done seen that. We done bought the T-shirt, and it doesn't work.
Well, I have a problem with the ones that have no coaching experience. I mean, Michael Vick is up at, Hampton right now. Deion Sanders, when he started at, not Florida, A&M,
Jackson State
first, and then Colorado. No, these guys have no coaching experience. You need at least 4 to 5 years to just try and get your feet wet to figure it all out, because you don't know it from the outside. You are a player. You only know so much. You don't know what's happening in the back room or at somebody's office.
Magic Johnson has failed at coaching. Isaiah Thomas has failed at coaching. Larry Bird has failed at coaching.
But
and
then
when
there's Kerr.
They've made that. Okay, but that's going into my point.
Yeah.
With people like Kerr,
Doc Rivers,
is it that the stars can't come back and be coaches, but the role players, the players that aren't what you would call high level? Kirby Smart played football, wasn't a star. Nick Saban played football, wasn't a star.
I think like J.J. Redick, that's the reason that he's a team player, facilitator. He was like almost a coach on the floor when he played. That's why I think guys like that are more suitable for like a coaching position than, you know, your perennial all-stars, you know, that were just out there on God-given athletic ability, when guys like JJ were having to use a lot more of this than a lot more of this on the floor.
And that could be a possibility when you look at it.
So Larry Bird is an exception. Steve Spurrier. I mean, those are stars.
Steve Kerr. I mean, he was a former player, especially for the Bulls.
Kerr was almost like a fifth player on that.
Exactly. He wasn't a perennial all-star. He was somebody.
But I'm
who
saying
was in
that
the,
Larry Bird
you know,
was a superstar.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Steve Spurrier is a Heisman Trophy winner. And these guys are successful in their coaching. I'm sure baseball has their own, too.
Yeah, they were, but really not the stars. You know, if you look across the table at some of these guys.
Billy Martin.
They're not stars. They wasn't superstars, but they were players, and they come back and they did pretty good. Hubert Davis wasn't a star. He was very good. He was a very good player at North Carolina and had a great NBA career.
Bobby Hurley, he was a star at Duke playing, but, I mean, his coaching career was not really great.
Yeah, and he's probably not done. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about some of this and also March Madness. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Legend said some song lyrics come to mind when he was watching the show yesterday in Crazy Train. But speaking of Legend, y'all go ahead and cancel this tournament and everyone will get out of their feelings, Mr. Paul. Cancel it and give it to the GOAT. Make him a 7-time champ. I vote Legend.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Clear and slightly foggy tonight with a low near 66 and a wind 3 to 7 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a gentle breeze out of the east-southeast and a temperature of 75. About the same in the afternoon and evening, around 77 with sunshine and a wind around 13 miles per hour out of the south. Partly sunny Friday, a gentle breeze and hot around 77. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results.
Hi, this is Todd from PCB Hobby on Back Beach. Advertising with ESPN Northwest Florida has been a wonderful experience. Their staff is very knowledgeable and friendly. If you want to talk with customers like you never thought possible, reach out to the team at ESPN Northwest Florida. 850-215-4468.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
Off target, right hand follow. Cowboy, perfectly timed right block.
Listen to the madness.
And the Tide are up 17.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290.
I'm sure that most of you have used a dial telephone before.
The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Back to the Sports Blitz.
We are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your first day of April, which means sunny weather, beautiful beaches, and spring breakers right here tonight. Don't forget the Orlando Magic tip-off at 6:30 right after the show. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock. And then don't forget, if you go on and open up the ESPN Northwest Florida app for a chance to win a $25 Ferrucci Restaurante gift card right here in beautiful Panama City. Just smash the contest button to win the amazing Italian cuisine from Ferrucci's restaurant right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget also, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. It's April.
It is.
And for April, it means something to me, and I'm excited about it. But Sunday is going to be my last year of being in my 40s. So 49 is going to hit me on Sunday, April the 5th. It's my birthday.
Happy early birthday, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And also my son's birthday. Same day, actually. So
Y'all share birthdays.
So me saying it's my birthday in the Wilson household, it really isn't, because my son, it's his birthday. And so
probably not had a birthday in 10 years?
Yep, he turns 10 on Sunday, and this will not be a birthday that I'm sure my wife will take care. I'm sure we're going to eat, and she's going to say happy birthday and all that. I'm sure that I'll get the calls and the text and all that from the normal people, and some maybe not so normal, but it is my son's birthday. And and Jeffrey, I mean you're going to be getting closer to 60 as we speak this month as well. So April the 7th is Jeffrey's birthday.
Oh, wow, y'all have really close birthdays.
Yeah, but I'm way younger than him.
Yeah. But he can't blow out the candles, so he'll have his son do it.
That's right. I don't get a candle. He'll have the candles. And so either way, it's April 1st. And let me go around the room real quick. Did we have any April Fools stuff going on at work for you today? I mean, were there things that obviously, the FCC's listening. So you don't say anything that's crazy, but I mean, were people, because you work with a lot of adults, and obviously
some of them don't act like adults.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
And then some of my jokes are not maybe they're too adult-like.
Yeah.
And so I had to hold a lot of jokes. But, of course, I have a couple of buddies at work, and I share some of the inappropriate jokes that I have. But they're really bad.
So,
really awful.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less. But when you ask, did anybody try to trick you with an April Fool's joke?
No,
I'm pregnant jokes? Or
nothing crazy.
That's not funny.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing crazy. I woke up and, doing some scrolling first thing in work, drinking coffee, and I seen a Rick Barnes retirement post, and it was the Vols posting it, and they faked some ESPN headline thing, and I literally, it didn't last long, it didn't fool me long, it was less than 30 seconds, but I said, tried to look it up, and I was like, nah, man, they're just joshing me. But,
so they got you a little bit.
For the 30 seconds, of this day. Yes,
have you ever been gotten on an April Fool's joke?
I would say yes, but when I was younger, me and my mom I do remember this vaguely. We used to pull April Fool's jokes on my dad every year, and whether he actually believed them or not, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember one that we quote unquote threw the baseball through the window, and Mom called, and I was supposed to I'm crying like we're playing this whole thing. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if he even knew any of those were real, but we used to try to prank my dad every April Fool's.
Yeah, so and you see the ones where they put the the note on the truck, like where you park your truck on the windshield wiper, and says, "I'm pregnant, call me." That would be really bad. But what Bone Crusher? You didn't think that was funny?
The pregnant jokes? Not at all.
So I did hear one for the sake of April Fools. I will say one. A parent woke up at midnight and changed the clocks and grabbed the phones of the children and woke them up and said, "We're late for school, late for the bus." And then had the kids get up
3 in the morning,
and get up and get ready. And then she said, "I'm just kidding. It's April Fool's." So there you go, at midnight. So probably not the best thing to do around testing. I know some of the kids are testing right now, so probably not the greatest. But I'm sure that there were a lot of people doing it. Obviously, the jokes were big time on social media today. There was you couldn't believe anything today. And I think you sent me one. Todd Golden's going to UNC, and I said, that's a joke, right? And you never answered. So
I know. You know why?
Why?
Because silence is golden, and Golden's going to the Tar Heels.
Okay. He's been waiting all day to say that.
Yeah, that's been in his back pocket for hours.
Yeah, this has been a wait. He was holding it. That's so good. Yeah, you're great. But when you do think about the coaching carousel in college football, now you see a little bit happening. They're not saying hold my beer here or anything like that. But college, do you think that they are going to go with an established statesman of college basketball, or are they going to go with one of these Dusty May, Nate Oates, one of these guys that have been bringing consistency to their programs and winning basketball games that's going to allow the excitement of a young guy coming in? Because as well as I do, you had Rick Pitino, you had Tom Izzo. Yeah. These guys are in their 70s. You got Coach Cal in their 70s.
We're like 10 years away from like a whole wave of some Hall of Famers that we talked about all tournament that we've talked about for the last 20 or 30 years. No longer coaching.
No longer going to be there. Is Bill Self going to stay, or is he going to leave Kansas? Like, you got Bill Self, you got Rick Pitino, you got Rick Barnes, you got Tom Izzo, you got all of those guys. You already had Jim Boeheim leave.
Calipari, I don't know. Calipari's got to be in his 60s.
Yeah, and I think he's like 68 or 69. Then you got like Roy Williams and Jim Boeheim. They've all gone. They've left. On. And now you've got the next level, which is the ones that you were saying. And, what do you think the Tar Heels do? Do you think they go older, established, or do you think they go after one of these? Do they go get Todd Golden? Do they go get Nate Oates? Do they go get Dusty
Question
May?
Before I answer. So, North Carolina job. Top 3, top 5 job in the country? Top 2? Where do y'all see this one?
Second job in the country.
Second.
Next
to the school down the road?
Next to Duke.
Really?
Yes.
So you think personally that North Carolina would be a step up?
Yes, for anybody else except for John Shire. Yes.
Even though Florida's won a national championship more recently than North Carolina and things of that nature?
Because whether we like it or not, Florida is still a football school.
It is.
They're a great basketball program, but they're a football school. And Alabama, as good as they've been in basketball, they're a football school.
Yeah.
Michigan, as good as they have been in basketball, football school. These guys that are available to go, it's the whole Bear Bryant. What's the coach from Kentucky?
Pope?
No, the one from a long time ago. The one that won all the championships.
Oh, Adolph Rupp.
Yeah, Rupp.
Okay.
Bear Bryant was with Rupp at Kentucky. Rupp won the national title. Bear Bryant won the SEC or the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
It was a tie for the SEC championship. Yeah.
They gave Bear Bryant a watch.
Yeah.
They gave Rupp a brand new car, a Cadillac.
Wow.
A Cadillac, which was a big deal back then.
And he said, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I'm out. And that's how come he went to A&M. Then he eventually got to Alabama.
Yeah, it worked out for you guys.
Yeah, so that's the deal. When you have a coach, yes, you can win national championships. Todd Golden going to North Carolina is huge. Nate Oates going to North Carolina is huge. Dusty May, if he wins a national title with Michigan, going to North Carolina is huge. You could be there if you win the national title. Calipari won one national title in all of the years that he was at Kentucky, but he made them relevant
recruited
by
out the wazoo.
Right, and making the final game, making the Final Four, winning, but he also lost in the NIT. What I'm saying is, if you can win a national title, they'll keep you around, or maybe. I don't know. Maybe the landscape is going to change.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Has the landscape changed? And I mean, it's kind of like the Lane Kiffin jump from Ole Miss to LSU. I mean, both SEC schools. It's like, I mean, with Todd Golden. And I assume Todd Golden, he's semi-established, winning the national championship. He's been with Florida. But, like, he's only 40. He just turned 40, I do believe. So, like, is he one of those young guns you'd be talking about? Or he's kind of an in-betweener. He's kind of like that young, hungry, up-and-coming. But
not
also
if he's
somebody
coaching until 30.
Yeah, he would be a good fit. I don't know if North Carolina would go out and hire somebody young and hungry like that if they've been proven in recency. So he fits that. If not, you've got to get somebody a little older, a little more established, who's out there? I don't know. I've not looked. I've not been recruiting coaches for the North Carolina Tar Heels. But, I mean, I would say – I'd say he's probably one of the better fits. I don't know who's available. I guess everybody's available when you start throwing them money, to be quite honest. Of course.
I mean, and to be at North Carolina, I mean, that in itself, I mean, to wear the baby blue, I mean, come on.
Okay. He said number 2. I think they're actually in the conversation of maybe being third, but sometimes it's the money that tells me that they are second. And it's Kentucky.
I mean,
Kentucky is top 3. Yeah. If they aren't number 3, there's a possibility of being number 2, just because the support of the whole state. They own that state. They live and breathe basketball. There is no other sport. There is no baseball. There is no football. It's basketball up there. North Carolina, they have different interests. They have professional teams and everything. But it's the money that makes the Tar Heels number 2.
Yeah, and it's the prestige of playing there, and you get to wear Jordan brand. You get Jordan there.
That's another thing.
You meet Michael Jordan.
It's the money.
You meet all these famous
players. The money makes it number 2. Kentucky's in the conversation, though.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's a big drop off, and then you got Kansas and UCLA and Michigan State is not a top 10. Izzo leaves, and we're not all like, oh, who's going to Michigan State? Nobody's even talking about that.
Right. And that's the deal.
That's a good point.
If Izzo does leave eventually, and he will,
they drop
you're
off.
right. They do fall off. It's just who are they going to be? Syracuse.
Oof.
They're going to be Syracuse.
They're going to be Georgetown.
Yeah, Georgetown, Syracuse, Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be those teams that were here that are here.
Nobody's talking about it.
Right.
I didn't ever think Villanova was going to rehash their program, and there they go. They won, what, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's part of it. That's the growing process. Look at UConn, what they've done. When Dan Hurley leaves, what's going – could Dan Hurley go to UNC?
Yeah. He played at St. John's.
Yeah.
Dan Hurley did?
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Yeah,
Recommended collision center.
Yeah.
Let's talk about hail damage.
Yeah, so we are able to do that. So, yeah, not just, we are a collision facility, and that's what we specialize in, but natural disasters or catastrophes, especially hailstorms. I know everybody around in this area knows and has been through that, knows what that is like. If you see those little dimples all over your car, hundreds, 400, 500, 600 dents, we're equipped to handle all that. We've got the PDR guys on standby, and most of the time, if it's denting your panels, it's definitely crushing your chrome belt moldings and damaging, busting out rear back glass or front glass or your sunroof breaks and you get water in your seat and you need your seat changed. So there is a multitude of aspects of a hail claim that you may need a body shop. And a lot of these places PDR stands for paintless dent repair, and they're able to pull the dent out without having to paint. But sometimes on either older vehicles or newer vehicles, because they put less and less mils, and I say mils, that's a measurement of how thick this paint is. They get cheap. You put one less mil on 2 million cars, you save a boatload of money as a manufacturer. With that being the case, these PDR guys, what they do is they push the dent out very strategically from the backside. It is a skill. It is not putting the plunger on it, pulling it out type of stuff. It's absolutely amazing. I call these guys magicians. Oh, yeah. And sometimes when they pop the dent out from the backside, the metal may move, but the paint on the outside will crack. Well, they push it out. We don't need to weld to it. We don't need to pull the dent out or do any, filler, bondo, etc. We just have to sand it and repaint it at that point. So realistically, with any type of hail claim, I would get a body shop involved, because typically it's more than just pushing dents out. There's a whole lot of things involved with it.
And you can give estimates. You can you can look at it. You can see.
I can do.
And you can work with those PDR
yards.
guys so that if there is any problem with the paint, you can take care of it.
Yeah, and I work very closely with mine. We actually use, and I'll throw a little shout out, Paul and John at the dentist, that they are the guys, and they either come to the shop or a bigger one. I know I'll take it over to them for a day or two, at their facility, and they bring it back, and then we'll change moldings, we'll change glass, and then we'll figure out which, I'm like, hey, did any of these dents you pushed out give you any trouble? Was there one maybe you were able to get 90% out and you need my help getting it the rest of the 10%, and then I have to sand and paint it? They're not all dents are equal, and so I have to figure that out and work with them as well. So it can be a little messy situation, especially for the customer, man. Anytime a customer's vehicle is damaged, it is probably one of the most stressful things, giving up your vehicle and trying to figure out rides and getting to rental, especially around this time of year. It is crazy to get in a rental car.
Yeah. Dimples. They're good for golf balls and babies' bottoms, but not for your vehicle.
Not for your car.
I think that's a good way to look at it. Either way, go see them. What's the address?
It's 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City, Florida. Right there on the south side of Jinx Avenue, cross over the railroad tracks. We are literally on Jinx. It is a red, gray, and black building. It's pretty noticeable. You will have a bunch of cars out front, fenced-in lots where we keep your vehicles with cameras. We keep everything safe, so we'll take care of your car while it's there as well.
And if you mention the show or mention the station, discount.
Yeah, discount. Like today, I had a good customer come back and see me, Miss Tuttle, and she, was a great customer, super patient, helped me with, insurance, because sometimes I have to get the customer involved. Me and them have to battle insurance, because insurance are sticklers, and they don't want to fix the vehicle the way I want to fix the vehicle. And I let the customer know that, and at that point, they'll be on my side. But she come by today, she was great. She said, hey, you replaced it with a headlight over here. This headlight doesn't look as clear. I said, Miss Tuttle, she asked me what I charge. I told her, and I said, you know what? Hang out one second. And I stopped what I was doing, and I just spent 20 minutes on her headlight, tried to make it better, and it made it a little better, but I told her I'd give her options after the fact, man. I try to take care of my customers, especially if you've already been there. Repeat customers, I want to take care of everybody, but especially the ones that continue to come back to me.
Yeah, and that's why local is always better.
Thanks,
so
Paul.
you can fix scratches and everything?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, everything. That's right. So either way, check them out right there on Jinx Avenue. When we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about March Madness, but we might throw in some football. You want to listen to this. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. 68 teams, 32 conference champions, but there can only be one. ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for the NCAA College Basketball Tournament.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
Lights, camera, action.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. Who will be this year's Cinderella? Listen exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Can you take the hits? Here comes the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic basketball. Right after the show tonight, 6 p.m. starts the coverage. The tip-off is at 6:30. And don't forget, you can go online and log into the ESPN Northwest Florida app, and you can win a chance for a $25 Ferrucci's gift card right there. Hit the button for contest, and that is awesome. Everybody loves some good Italian cuisine.
Love Italian
It's so
food.
good.
Garlic bread knots or sticks with some good old Italian dressing. I'm telling you what, I'm hungry right now.
Yeah, I am too. Jeffrey, I know you like Italian, right?
I'm eating Italian tomorrow night for my birthday, one of my birthday dinners.
Oh,
one of them.
One of them.
One of them. One of
He said, not only am I not sharing a birthday, I'm having birthday month dinners.
Yes.
Yikes.
Because I have one here in Florida, and then I'm going back to Louisiana next week, and I'm going to have
Are y'all doing like a backyard, like Cajun crawfish bowl?
No.
No?
But I do have friends that do crawfish boils all the time, like March, April, May.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sweet.
That's pretty funny. But either way, it is what it is. I just want to say, we just had something that happened in America. And moments ago, the United States launched for a return to the moon.
Yeah, so the moon area. So this is for us to kind of make sure all of our communications, everything is going well. This is for the Artemis 3. It's planned for 2027, 2028 for humans to land on the moon again. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's something about a permanent lunar presence, but yeah, this is to go around, make sure all communications and things like that. So this is kind of a very, very, very expensive test run.
All right. So here is how it sounded.
The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
And there you have it, guys. Artemis 2, they offered us Artemis 1. We turned it down. And so Artemis 2 hit the airways. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. But whether you believe they've been on the moon or not, at least they're trying to do something. And, so I don't know really what to say about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep all of that to myself for radio and political purposes.
During the break?
Oh my gosh!
I'll tell everybody. I don't think we landed on the moon, but I don't think that's a conversation for the ESPN Northwest Sports Blitz.
TSA people can't get paid, and we're going to send people to the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got political. That's political. Okay, but you believe?
No, you want to hear political?
Hold on, time out.
Somebody save me.
All right, I got to
because I'm at the radio station and I'm here with flat earthers.
All I'm saying is, do you believe they went to the moon the first time?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay,
absolutely.
Have you watched the videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you born?
I was not born. The last time they went to the moon was 72, and I was born in 73.
Okay, so you wasn't born.
I wasn't born, but I believe.
You've seen the videos.
It's just like Jesus. Do you believe in Jesus?
I do.
I do believe in Jesus.
But there's historical facts that
says we went to the moon.
That he was alive.
How do you think we got moon pies?
Oh, wow.
And don't tell me you don't believe in moon pies.
I
believe in Chattanooga.
I'm from the place where they're made. I believe that.
Gosh.
That's for sure.
Okay, Bone Crusher, you're up. Do you believe that they actually landed on the moon like they said they did?
Of course I do.
Okay.
But I'm curious why Brandon doesn't believe it.
Yeah, because, man. So you think you do radio, you do all this technology stuff. You believe I can't even make a phone call in a tunnel without signal being interrupted, or keep my TV from cutting out from the internet that is sitting right there in the room. And you believe that we projected in live HD, clear as day, a 250,000 miles away, live. You know how hard live stuff is. We try so hard around here to keep the live stuff going flawlessly. And I know it's difficult, but you think 250,000 miles away, we had a live footage that was clear as day, broadcasting back to the moon?
In 1972.
Well, that was 1960. That was the first time.
It was 69. It was August. But anyway.
In the 60s.
Brandon would never survive in our generation. You know why?
My God.
Because he doesn't know about TVs that would start rolling and everything, and you have the rabbit ears trying to get a good signal.
Hey, Papa Strickland, I had to adjust them ears, and we had 3 channels, and I had to make sure that I could have at least watch Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune.
There we go. And during the daytime, you can watch The Young and the Restless, and you can watch
Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
These are the days of our lives.
That's right. And the price is right. Want to go ahead and talk about something that is going to be taking place April the 25th at Bayhaven Charter Academy. It's going to be for Pamela Clements for medical expenses. It's Wrestling Against Cancer. And what I have here is I do have some tickets for that. So Friday we will be giving some of these tickets away. This is a general admission ticket. It's a general admission ticket, so it's $12 ticket, but it's going to be free. We're going to be giving these away starting Friday. So I just wanted to do that. We are a sponsor of this. This is a great opportunity. All the proceeds will go to Pamela Segree Clements for her medical expenses with her battle against cancer. So just wanted to mention that because we will be doing that. When you look at it, Brandon, obviously you won't be back before the games are played.
Yeah, so when is the national? What day is the national championship?
The national championship is on Monday. The final 4 games are going to be Saturday.
Hey,
okay, so you've got UConn and Illinois. Who you got?
I've got UConn in this one. Illinois, yes, they've made it this far. Yeah, they beat the brakes off Iowa, who has kind of scathed by against Nebraska and Florida. I just believe UConn's battle-tested. I believe in the fiery Dan Hurley. I believe he's going to have his players ready to play. Yeah. And I believe UConn's going to make that national championship. And then on the other side, talking about Arizona and Michigan, I think me and you roll with Michigan. You've seen what they did to our teams. Yeah. They are just big. They can shoot. They just, I don't know. They're a different ball team than my team was. That's for sure. And so, it'd be cool to say, yeah, we lost to the national champs, but I think that they're going to be a little too much.
Do you think that's a thing? Like saying, we lost, but we lost to the eventual national champion. I mean, because people do say that.
I think it's a thing, but it's not a thing. I think it's a personal thing.
Yeah, to make yourself feel better.
Yes, it helps internal morale. It helps fans, kind of get through their woes. I think it's a superficial thing, but it is a thing.
Do you think that Arizona and the Michigan game is going to be the best game, or do you think that the UConn-Illinois game could possibly be the better of the two?
No, I think the Arizona-Michigan game will be the better, and I've been hearing some people say that is the national championship right there. The winner of that game is going to win it.
So you said UConn and Michigan.
Yeah.
So then on Monday, UConn and Michigan are going to play, so to speak. And what do you think about that one?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's my recency bias, but I mean, with what I have seen, I'd probably roll with Michigan on that one. And I don't like saying the H word. I don't like saying hate. But I firmly dislike Michigan in every shape, form, or fashion. They're right there parallel with the old Ohio State team.
Yes.
So,
yes,
I have a buddy, Hunter Black, who's a huge Michigan fan and probably one of two Michigan fans I've ever known in my entire life. And
does he live here?
He lives in Chattanooga.
Okay.
Yeah, he lives in Tennessee. So, but yeah, I think that they've got a little too much for everybody else in these Final Four.
And that's a big say. I mean, when you look at how good UConn has been, do you hold the fact that they're going to win due to how they come back against Duke? Is that something that kind of makes you, because you're very confident? You don't think?
Yeah, I mean, Duke should have had that game. I mean, if the Boozer brother, I think Caden just holds on to the dang ball and he could have it could have been a jump ball, could have been a foul, it could have been any of the above, and they win that game. So. I think that plays a huge factor in, me thinking, because I had Duke winning it all. They should have won that game. They were up, double digits. A lot of their losses Duke lost this year. They were up at some point in that game that they've lost by double digits, and they've just let them continuously slide. So I don't think UConn. I think they're a good team. I mean, they're in the Final Four. They're a great team, but I don't think they're going to win.
So let me say this. I was in a college game one time. I was playing college basketball, and we had 5 seconds on the clock. And they threw the ball in, and we were up. We were up by 2. And normally, they foul you, and then you go to the free throw line and you put it away. And that's really what everybody's been saying about that game. I was a little, I don't know. I was just one of those guys that I ran by my own deal or whatever. So when they threw the ball into me, I immediately threw it high as I could into the stadium.
Yeah.
And just let the ball go up, and by the time the ball hit and bounced, the clock had already went to 0.
I think that's genius.
So
that's all Caden had to do.
I mean, that's unless it goes out of bounds, the clock doesn't stop. So he could have just thrown the ball up as high as he wanted.
100%.
I mean, that's a and I'll
he
say
could have done a backward. He tried to pass it into it. He could have done a granny shot, backwards shot to the goal, and it would have been better than what he did.
Yeah, and I know, and if you listen to the interview, he felt like he lost the game.
He did.
Which
any competitor, any sport is going to feel like that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's part of it. We only have about a minute to go, and Jeff, I just, you and Bone Crusher, I just want you guys to know that, hey, you can believe anything you want. This is a non-judgment zone of belief. But on the flip side of it, if we want to believe that there was not moon landings or whatever, then we can too.
Oh,
yeah. So either way, it's been a great show. Moon landings on this April Fool's Day. Have a great time. Do not get fooled tonight because there's still time left. But we will talk to you tomorrow. Coach Blue from Gulf Coast will be on. And we'll be talking March Madness and a lot of other stuff. Thanks for listening today, guys. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN.
Northwest Florida. Catch Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and all the boys as the Atlanta Braves look to reclaim the East.
A walk-off home run, and the Braves win it.
Follow the journey to October right here. Your official home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
Man, oh man, is he playing some baseball.